Are you content or are you just comfortable? I'll say it again. Are you content or are you just comfortable? Because those two things can look almost identical from the outside. The same soft smile when someone asks how you're doing, the same "I'm good" answer at church, the same Instagram caption about your season of growth. But on the inside, they feel completely different and they lead to completely different places. You see, contentment is one of the most talked about topics in the Christian singles space, right? And I think we've accidentally flattened it into something it was never meant to be. So today I want to pull it apart, be honest about what complacency actually looks like and how it's dressed up as contentment, and give you something real to walk away with. Sound good? Okay, first of all, we have to look at the definition of both of these words. So let's define both of them because I think we've been a little loose with them in the past, okay? Contentment, like biblical contentment, is an active peace. Active peace. It's a posture of someone who trusts God with where they are while still showing up fully into who they're called to become. It's not passive. It's not checked out. It's actually deeply engaged with life, just without the anxiety of constantly trying to force the next thing, right? Now, complacency, on the other hand, is stagnation, wearing contentment's clothes. It's when I'm trusting God's timing becomes a reason to stop growing. It's when I'm at peace is actually I've given up. When surrender isn't faith, but avoidance. You see, contentment looks like peace and intentional growth, hopeful about the future, investing in yourself right now, honest about your desires, and doing the inner work. While complacency looks like numbness disguised as peace, indifferent or checked out, waiting without becoming, suppressing what you want, and avoiding the inner work. And here's the thing that makes it hard to spot. You see, complacency often sounds really spiritual. It sounds like, I've just surrendered it to God, or I don't even think about dating anymore. What? Or I've made peace with being single forever. Oh my goodness, right? And maybe for many women in some seasons, that may be genuine surrender. But for a lot of us, it's a defense mechanism. That's protection from hope because hope has hurt us before, right? Choosing not to want something because wanting it and not having it was too painful, it's not contentment. It's self-preservation. And God is compassionate about us. He's compassionate about it and us. But He also doesn't want you to live there forever. Okay? Now, let's go to the verse that gets quoted in almost every contentment conversation because I think we read it a little too fast sometimes. It's Philippians 4:11. For I have learned to be content in whatever circumstances I am in. Did you catch that? That word learned? You see, Paul didn't say I was born content. He didn't say I prayed once and contentment showed up. No, he said he learned it, which means it's a process. It took time and probably felt hard and uncomfortable and like it wasn't working until it finally did, right? Now, context matters here too, because Paul wrote this from prison. This isn't a man who had everything going right and found it easy to be thankful. No, he had been beaten, shipwrecked, abandoned, and locked up, and discovered over time that his peace was not dependent on his circumstances. That is a very different message than just be grateful and stop wanting things, right? It's very different. But contentment is a practice. It's a discipline. It's something you learn, which I know a lot of people don't want to hear, but it is, okay? It means if you don't feel it right now, you're not failing. You're just not there yet, and that's okay. So how do you actually know if you're content or complacent? Here are a few diagnostic questions. Don't answer these too quickly, but think about these things, okay? Are you growing? Not in a hustle culture, optimize everything way, but genuinely, are you becoming more of who you want to be? Are there areas in your life you're investing in, developing, leaning into? If the answer is no, maybe ask yourself why. Number 2, are you still hopeful? Not necessarily about a relationship specifically, but about your life in general. Do you wake up with a sense that something good could still happen? Or do you feel like you're just managing time until something changes? Number 3, this one's kind of a big one. Are you hiding? This is a little uncomfortable, I know, but are you using "I'm content" as a way to avoid people, avoid vulnerability, avoid putting yourself out there? Are you filling your schedule so full that there's no room to feel belonging because feeling is a little too scary? And then finally, are you honest with God about what you want? Because stuffing your desires down and calling it surrender is not the same as genuinely laying them before God and trusting Him with the outcome. Proverbs 37:4, we hear a lot. It says, "Delight yourself in the Lord, and He will give you the desires of your heart." Notice that He doesn't say ignore your desires. He's going to give them to you, right? He wants you to have desires, but He says bring them to Him. Now, I want to reframe something real quick, though, because I think that the way we talk about singleness in Christian culture sets women up to kind of waste it, right? We call it a waiting season. We call it a season of preparation. We say things like, God is working on you so you're ready for the right person. I've called it all of those things. And while I don't think that's entirely wrong, I do think it pulls all of the meaning of this season onto something that hasn't happened yet. But what if this season wasn't just preparation for marriage? What if it had a full, complete value right now on its own? What if the career you're building, the friendships you're deepening, the healing you're doing, and the gifts you're developing, what if those things matter not just because they'll make you a better wife someday, but because they matter to God and to the world right now? Because that's the truth of this season. It is not just a waiting season. Although it is, it's not at the same time, okay? Singleness is not a waiting room. It's a living room. A waiting room is a place where you go sit without touching anything. You're counting the minutes until you're called, right? But a living room is a place you live in. You furnish it. You make it yours. You invite people into it. You grow in it. The women I know who are genuinely content, like not complacent, but genuinely content, are not women who have given up on wanting marriage. They're not. They're women who decided their life was worth showing up for fully right now. They have stopped holding their breath, waiting for something to happen. And they've started breathing. And that's the posture I want for you. Okay? So I want to challenge you with something. I promise it won't be hard, but this week, I want you to set one personal growth goal, not a relationship goal, not a I'm going to put myself out there more, but a personal growth goal, okay? Something for you. Maybe it's a class that you've been putting off. Maybe it's a habit you've been meaning to build, or a creative thing that you used to love that you let go of for a season, right? Pick one of those things and start it this week. Second, I want you to identify an area of avoidance. Where have you been using contentment language to cover up something you've actually been avoiding? Maybe it's a hard conversation, or getting back into community, or doing the emotional work that you've been putting off. I want you to name it. Okay, that's it. Just name it. You don't have to fix it today. That just make you aware by naming it. Third, I want you to invest in the people you have, your friendships, your community, your chosen family. One of the loneliest traps in singleness is deferring deep investment in relationships because you feel like, oh, everything will just reshuffle and I'll make friends once I'm married, right? No. The women who have rich, full lives, married or not, are the ones who built real community and kept nurturing it consistently over time. So start now. And finally, pray a little bit different of a prayer this week, okay? Instead of God, bring me my person, try God, make me someone who is fully alive right now, and see what He does with that. Now, friend, contentment is not a ceiling. It's not a consolation prize for women who didn't get what they wanted. It is one of the most powerful, most countercultural, most deeply rooted things a woman can carry. And it is available to you right now in this season exactly as it is. Not when things are better, not when you're further along, but right now. So I want to ask you, and I genuinely want to hear your answer in the comments. Are you in a place of contentment or complacency? Are you content or just comfortable? Be honest. This is a safe space, and I promise you are not the only one. And hey, real quick, if you're in a season of rebuilding and you want more content like this rooted in faith and healing, tap a subscribe button and stay connected here with this community. Watch this next video about what to do when you're longing for a relationship. And I want you to remember that you are loved, you are worthy, and you are chosen. Have a blessed week.